Joker 2. Okay. That's very easy to do. Can you all hear me? All right. Well, I'm very excited because we have our whole world today is tuned in. I'm just going to say it, even though it may or may not be every single person, but I would like to know every nation and within the heart of every being on the planet, I am speaking into that, the truth, which is peace. And I love the words of Dr. Holmes. He said, peace is the power at the heart of God. Can you feel that? I love those words that he said. So we are returning home this whole month. The first week we returned home to the changeless, the eternal truths of who we are. Week 2, we did return home to faith. We could all use a little more of that, I think. At least I know I could. Today is returning to peace. And next week, just so you all know, we're not going to be here. Where will we be? Who knows where we'll be? We're all going to be at the university, having another learning. The what?
In the pub.
In the pub. This is the first time we've ever had our service in a pub. So if you like beer, you can order a beer. It'll be fun. We also have a live band, a 5-piece band coming, and they're called Logo. They're from Kelowna. They sing at the Kelowna Church. And we are just so blessed to have them. So just a lot of exciting things. Plus you can stay and enjoy the day at the Wellness Festival. Very nice. So all of that upcoming. So next week, just remember, if you show up and there's no one here, think, oh, that's right. And just drive up to True University, and there you'll find us right next to the ballroom, in the pub. You can even go in the door and say, I'm looking for that church that's meeting in the pub. There's a place in Marysville, in Washington, where they have a Harley Center for Spiritual Living. There you go, Ralph. You get to ride up on your Harley, and they have a Harley minister. I mean, isn't that great? So, right, different strokes for different folks, right? It's all good. So as we are on this journey, and especially recently, what I noticed, and I have been noticing, there's an interesting opportunity for all of us to really be in that place of peace as we put on our world glasses and see what's going on. There seems to be a lot of turmoil, the appearance of that. And so that means to me that I need, in my heart, to find more ways to be peaceful, because it cannot exist out in the universe, in the world, unless somewhere in us there is some place that is still not totally resolved. So just to kind of do an inner check-in right now to see if there's any place in you, with any family member, with any person, place, or thing, where there's not total peace. And so there's still a little bit more work for us to do to bring ourselves there. So as we walk this journey at life, we can at times be tossed and turned. Anyone here ever tossed and turned?
Oh, yeah.
A few times, right? And we can occasionally get thrown off course and lose our way. And that can happen it happens to me as well, and to all of us. And if we're in this experience of life, things happen. But the most powerful thing we can do is to pick ourselves up by our own bootstraps and bring ourselves to that place of peace. So this whole month, the whole idea of returning home, I share with you, and this is from Dr. Ernest Holmes. And these words are from a book he wrote called Observations. And he says this: first at home in the silence of our own thought, let us heal ourselves of fear, of doubt, of uncertainty. Let our lives be peaceful. Let our lives be whole. Then shall that peace which is God abiding within us radiate from us. And just for a sec, there's someone in the office that's wandering around. Can you go check that out? They might be looking for us. They went into our office.
The case in the house.
They're saying, where's the Center for Spiritual Living? It's right in front of you. So I just wanted to say that so he could go in there. They went in and they're wandering around. Okay, perfect. So those are the words from Dr. Ernest Holmes himself, talking about really anchoring ourselves in peace. So today we're going to continue our journey home with the idea of returning to peace. And I do happen to have 3 ways, and like a beautiful waterfall. Each of these ways leads to the other. You didn't find her? wandering around. Now he's wandering around too. That's okay.
You want me?
So I have a colleague of mine, like this, a colleague of mine called me and she said, Joy-anne, I think I found inner peace. She said, my life coach recently told me that in order to find inner peace, I needed to finish what I began. So she said, I polished off an entire pizza, ice cream, an entire container of Ben & Jerry's ice cream, and a whole box of chocolates. And so now I feel much better. So that's not really, that's a wonderful thing, but maybe not a total way that we could get to peace. Or maybe we can. How many of you like to indulge in yes. What do they say? When you indulge, you bulge? You didn't find her. I saw her go right in there. She was an elder lady. Maybe it was my mother visiting. I don't know. On the other side.
Suitcase.
Pardon?
She had a suitcase. We had a nice chat, but she's leaving us for the moment.
You did find her.
So I did find her.
And what is she doing?
She's waiting for a ride.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Very good. Tell her to come on in. So maybe that's the way to peace of eating all those wonderful foods, and maybe not. But there is one way in which these three ways that I will be sharing, and this is the truth, is that we must choose peace. We must embody peace, and we must live peace in order for us to return home to our peace. So it is a choice. Like in every moment, we have a choice whether we want to act or whether we react. So when I turn on the news or open like a newspaper, we don't have newspapers anymore, do we?
Yes.
One newspaper. We have one newspaper left. Okay. Well, whatever that is, when we see something in turmoil, for me, it is my time, it is my calling, it is my opportunity to go into treatment and to know the truth. And that's what I love. So whether we are seeking peace in our family, peace in our center, peace in our city, peace in our nation, peace in our world, it continues to be the same exact thing that we must all do. And that is for us individually and collectively to choose peace, to embody peace. It's an inside job, as I like to say, one person at a time. Thich Nhat Hanh, how many of you have heard of Thich Nhat Hanh? He is a Vietnamese Buddhist monk, and he wrote a book that I love called Peace in Every Step. And it's an amazing book, and the foreword for this book was written by the Dalai Lama, who will happen to be in Vancouver in the middle of October. I think it'd be great if he came here. Someone told me that he's been here before, but I mean here. Why don't we invite him here to our center? We could all meet up at True again, and we would have enough room maybe for everyone. So I think I'll give him a call. That's good. Usually when I invite people, they come, so that's really good. All right, so here's what he said. I love it. He said, although attempting to bring about world peace through the internal transformation of individuals may seem difficult, it is the only way, said the Dalai Lama, the only way. Peace must first be developed within us. And I believe that love, compassion, and altruism are the fundamental basis for peace. Once these qualities are developed within an individual, he or she is then able to create an atmosphere of peace and harmony. And this atmosphere can be expanded and extended from the individual to his family, to the community, and eventually to the whole world. Dr. Holmes said in Living the Science of Mind, I love this, he said that every one of us is a broadcasting station. Just like I do a radio show. So how many of us really see ourselves as a broadcasting station? Every minute of every day, even when you're sleeping, you are broadcasting something. So what is that? Is that peace? Is that love? Is that compassion? Is that caring? Is that wholeness and health? Is that prosperity and abundance? So we are broadcasting stations, every one of us. And the universe doesn't go to sleep. The universe is always listening. So just imagine that you have this little microphone. Right? Big microphone. Little microphone. Could be big. And then everything you say is broadcast out and responded to automatically, coming back to you literally with your thoughts, with your words, with your actions. So we are all that. And so to create peace, we must choose it. We must embody it. We must live it. So let me ask you this. We cannot create something unless we believe it is possible. How many of you truly feel, think, and believe that peace is possible in our world? Yeah, it is possible. So if you don't believe it, I talked to someone the other day and they were wanting to manifest something, and I said, do you believe this is possible? And they said no. I was asked one time, I said, I would like to attract into my life the perfect mate for me, and I want a dancing minister. And then the practitioner I was working with said, do you believe it's possible? And I said, no. So how can I manifest the perfect partner that's a dancing minister, right, a dancing Rev, if I don't believe it's possible? I haven't never seen one. I've never met one, right? I am one, yes, I am one. And I like dancing with myself, okay? Not nearly as much fun as with a partner. So anyway, I know it's possible now because we had a whole conversation. So those words of the Dalai Lama reminded me of a profoundly beautiful Chinese proverb that I will share with you, and I love this. So I'm going to ask you just to kind of close your eyes and hear these beautiful words. This is a Chinese proverb. If there is light in the soul, there will be beauty in the person. If there is beauty in the person, there will be harmony in the home. If there is harmony in the home, there will be order in the nation. And if there is order in the nation, there will be peace on earth. So here's a fundamental truth, another one for you today. I love this. No effect or no demonstration can be held in place without a cause that is sustaining it. I'll say it again. No effect can be held in place without a cause that is sustaining it. So it's so important that we understand that we choose our good, that we make a declaration, that we take a stand for something. I love the words of Mother Teresa. She said, she asked one time, she was asked if she would do a anti-war rally. And she said, no way, Jose, I'm not doing that. She said, but I will take a stand for peace. I will take a stand for peace. So to choose peace, I choose the consciousness of peace. I choose to live peace, and I choose to come from that place of peace. Ernest Holmes, I loved our reading. I'm just going to share a couple more lines from it because it's so powerful. He says, let us realize if the world is to be healed of war and brought into peace, it won't have been because there's less guns. It will be because we choose peace. So that's what we're here to do. So I have just three things to share with you today. These three ideas, these three truths, like a beautiful waterfall of peace. So the first one, so we are choosing peace, is this. Number one, to deeply realize our interconnectedness. Our interconnectedness. Who understands what that means? Who understands what interconnectedness means? I'm going to ask you a question. So see this piece of paper here. How many of you, when you look at this paper, can see a cloud? Can you all imagine that there is a cloud? Can you see a cloud in there? You say, what are you talking about? Why? What does that have to do with interconnectedness? The idea of interbeingness or interconnectedness is that, and this is from Thich Nhat Hanh, I love his words, is that in the cloud, we would not have this piece of paper in front of you if it were not for that cloud. Because the cloud brings the rain, right? The rain then waters the trees, and then the trees then are made out of paper. But we also, on this blank sheet, there is a cloud, there is rain, there are trees, but in order to get the trees, we have to have a logger, right? So the logger comes in and he cuts down the tree, right? And the logger has to have his daily bread, so we need some wheat in this sheet of paper. So you're actually looking at all those things. You're looking at the cloud and the rain and the trees. There's also sunshine in this paper. this blank paper. So everything that exists is interconnected. And when we are interconnected, that takes us right into our next idea. So first we have to realize the interconnectedness of all life. The earth, the rain, the minerals, the soil, the sunshine, the cloud, the river, the heat, and you and me. You and I are also inside this sheet of paper. Everything interconnected. And so how does that work? Well, that brings us to the second part of today's, number 2, and that is this. In order to not only embody the idea of interconnectedness, we have to practice this one thing. Actually, there's 2 things. The first one is we have to practice mindfulness. How many of you are able to bring your awareness into the fully present moment, every single moment? Anybody here can do that? I want your autograph. Every single minute of every day, to be totally mindful, to bring all of your awareness, all of your attention, all of your intention to every single moment. Can we do that? A great teacher of that is Thich Nhat Hanh. And I'd like to share this poem. This poem I love. I don't know who wrote it, but I love it. It says this: I was regretting the past. Anyone ever do that? I was regretting the past and fearing the future, and then suddenly the divine was speaking to me. The divine said, "My name is I am." God paused, I waited, and God continued. When you live in the past with its mistakes and regrets, it is difficult. I am not there. My name was not I was. When you live in the future with its problems and fears, it is difficult. I am not there either. My name is not I will be. But when you live in the moment, it is not difficult. I am here. I am there because my name is I am. And in the Buddhist meditation, they use temple bells. We're going to try that a little bit. So what they do all day long is monks have a life, right? And they do other things besides praying, but this is what they do all day long. They hear this. Not every minute of every day. Let's say every 20 minutes. And every time they hear this, it is their reminder to be in the present moment. Wouldn't it be great? Some people use their watch to keep themselves fully present in the moment. And they put a little chime on there so that every 20 minutes we're reminded to bring ourselves home to that peace inside of us. Wouldn't that be great? I think it's Wayne Dyer. He uses a doorway. Every time you walk through a doorway, it's his reminder. For some of us, it might be our fridge. Put a little sign on there. Every time I go to my fridge and open the door, oh, that's right. I bring in all my awareness to what I'm eating, right? To what's going on. So it could be for you a lot of different things. Some people use the traffic lights. Every time there's a red light, that's a reminder to bring yourself into the present moment. And that is really about peace. Truly living that peace. So practicing mindfulness. This is one of the ones that Thich Nhat Hanh wrote. He says, breathing in, on the in-breath, he says, listen, listen. On the out-breath, this wonderful sound brings me back to my true self. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. So let's do that. Breathing in, I calm my body. Let's all breathe in. Calm your body. And breathing out, I want to see you all smile. Smile. See? Very good. And this brings us, this idea of inner peace. The inner peace of the world to come is living in this world with full attention. So we bring our awareness, our attention. And this, like this waterfall, it brings us to number 3, really, today. First, realizing our inner beingness, being fully present in the moment. The last one I'd like to share today is, and this really is, it touches so many different areas of our lives, but it's so important, and it is to be loving kindness. I love Ellen. Any of you ever watch Ellen? She always says, be kind to one another. Be kind to one another. So that's number 3. Be only loving kindness. And that is to choose to return home to peace by being only loving kindness. Gandhi, you'll love this story. Gandhi, quoting the Buddha, said that one day he was in a village where there was a tremendous agitator. Anyone have a tremendous agitator in your life? So here is Buddha going into a village where there's a tremendous agitator. So he walks into the village, he knows this is, might happen. The agitator comes up to him and he grabs him by the throat. And instead of it, his only reaction was loving kindness. And he just started to emanate love. So he didn't get mad, he didn't get upset, he just stood there and allowed this person who grabbed him by the throat. Imagine what you would do if someone grabbed you by the throat. Might be a little bit different. You would get your karate going, right? So here's Buddha, grabbed by the throat, and he just emanated loving kindness, loving kindness. Well, this man, this agitator, dropped to his knees, sobbing, because Buddha had nothing in him but love, loving kindness. Loving kindness will transform this world. So next time someone agitates you, practice loving kindness. Abraham Hicks talks about this a lot. They say, I was going to say she, but it's actually they say to be a soft pillow for someone to land on instead of a fist, because what happens is we create war. So I like that. So my friends, this is actually a sacred law, and that is that hatred does not cease by hatred any time. Hatred ceases by love. And love is the most powerful thing in the world, and when we are peaceful, we are able to emanate that love and that loving kindness. So we want to realize our interconnectedness, we want to practice mindfulness, being fully present, and we want to be only loving kindness. And today I'm going to take you into this beautiful meditation written by Thich Nhat Hanh. It's called the River Meditation, and you get to become a river. When was the last time you became a river? So I'm going to ask you to close your eyes, and we're going to very gently go into that place of inner peace. And before I do that, okay, I'm going to have you bring me one of these blue sheets. Can you bring me one of those blue sheets? Before we do that, though, I want you to open your eyes again. This is something quite humorous, but I have a handout if anyone wants it. This is called the symptoms of inner peace. The symptoms of inner peace. Warning, warning, warning. Be on the lookout for symptoms of inner peace. The hearts of this great country already have been exposed to inner peace, and it is possible that people exposed could come down with it in epidemic proportions. This could pose a security threat to what has up until now been a fairly stable condition of conflict in our world. So here are the symptoms. See if you have any of them. Symptoms of inner peace. A tendency to think and act spontaneously rather than on fears based on past experiences. An unmistakable ability to enjoy every moment. A loss of interest in judging others. A loss of interest in interpreting the actions of others. Who likes to interpret the actions of others? What do they mean? What did that mean? A loss of interest in conflict. A loss of the ability to worry, and this is a very serious symptom. Frequent, overwhelming episodes of appreciation. Contented feelings of connectedness with others and nature. An interesting tendency to let things happen than trying to make them happen. And finally, I like this one too, an increased susceptibility to the love extended by others, as well as the uncontrollable urge to love them back. The symptoms of inner peace. And this is a handout for you to put on your fridge as maybe your bell here, to remind you to be fully present in the moment. All right, so let's close our eyes. And we'll just become the river. Thich Nhat Hanh offers this river meditation where he lives. And he brings all of them into that. I love the wings are going to be played. And so this is a metaphor for how we lose our peace and can then return home to it. So I invite you right now to imagine yourself as a beautiful river. A beautiful river finding her way among the hills and forests and meadows. And she began by being a joyful stream of water, a spring always dancing and singing as she ran down from the top of the mountain. She was very young at the time, and she came to the lowland, and she slowed down. She was thinking about going to the ocean. But as she grew up, she learned to look beautiful, winding gracefully among the hills and the meadows. But one day, this beautiful river noticed the clouds of all sorts and colors and forms. And she did nothing all day long but chase after clouds. She wanted to possess a cloud, to have one for her very own self. But clouds float and travel in the sky, and they are always changing their form. Sometimes they look like a horse, or a butterfly, or a person, these clouds. And because of the nature of impermanence with the clouds, the river suffered very much. Her pleasure, her joy had become just chasing after clouds one after another. But because she never could catch a cloud, despair and anger and hatred became her life. Then one day a strong wind came and it blew all the clouds away. All the clouds were gone from the sky, and the sky became completely empty. Our river thought that life was not worth living then, for there were no longer any clouds to chase. She wanted to die. But how can a river cease to be? That night, the river had an opportunity to go back to herself for the very first time. She had been running for so long after something outside of herself that she had never really seen herself. And that night was the first opportunity to hear her own crying, the sounds of water crashing against the banks of the river. Because she was able to listen to her own voice, she discovered something quite important. She realized that what she had been looking for was already within her. She found out that clouds are nothing but water. Clouds are born from water and return to water. And she found out that she herself also was water. Well, the next morning when the sun was in the sky, she discovered something beautiful. She saw the blue sky for the first time ever. She had never noticed it before. She had only been interested in clouds, and she had missed seeing the sky, which is the home of all the clouds. She realized that clouds are impermanent, but the sky is stable. And she realized the immense, great beauty within her own heart. And this great insight brought peace and happiness. And as she saw the vast, wonderful, clear blue sky, she knew that her peace and stability would never be lost again. She had returned home to the peace within her. And that afternoon, the clouds returned. But this time, she did not want to possess them. She could see the beauty of each cloud, and she was able to welcome all of them home. When a cloud came by, she would be great with just feeling and being loving kindness. When that cloud wanted to go away, she would wave to it happily and with loving kindness thoughts. She realized that all clouds are her. She didn't have to chase between clouds and herself or choose between clouds and herself ever again. Peace had existed between her and the clouds all along. And that evening, something wonderful happened. When she opened her heart completely to the evening sky, she received the image of a full moon, a beautiful, round, like a jewel in the sky that was also within herself. She had never imagined that she could receive such a beautiful image. And there is a very beautiful poem in Chinese that says this: the fresh and beautiful moon is traveling in the utmost empty sky. When the mind rivers of living beings are free, that image of the beautiful moon will reflect within each of us. And this was the mind of the river in that moment. She received the image of that beautiful moon within her heart and in her soul. And water and clouds and moon took each other's hands and mindfully, peacefully walked slowly to the ocean. There is nothing to chase after. All that we need, realize the river is right here within us. And we can go back to ourselves just through our breathing. So breathing in, I am aware. I am at peace. And breathing out, I smile. And so let all of us, every day, as many times as we can, especially when we open the fridge, bring that awareness of peace. When we walk through a door, remembering that we are peace. And if we are at a red light, may that be a reminder to live, be, and walk each step of our lives. Remembering that peace is a choice, that we must choose peace. So right now in this moment, I am knowing within every cell of my body, within every one of my 30 trillion cells, I am peace. I am seeing the word peace written in my heart by the divine, by me, writing in my heart the word peace. And every time my heart beats, it sends a message of peace to my body, to my mind, to my heart, to my soul. And I extend that peace out into my greater community. Here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Kamloops, I see everyone in this room living peace, choosing peace, being reminded of peace. And I extend it out even further now into all of BC, our beautiful province, living in peace. Extending that out even further now, our entire country, all of Canada. See the word peace enscrolled in the hearts of everyone in this nation. And extending that peace even more to every nation, over the ocean, across the ocean, over the mountains, until we together see our entire planet, this beautiful blue-green gem spinning in space perfectly, at peace. See peace written across the very face of our entire world. And extending that even one more time, sending it out into our galaxy, to our planets, our moon, the beautiful moon. Out beyond that into our galaxy, into the universe upon universe upon universe upon universe upon universe. Just allowing the peace that is in our heart to extend all the way out so that we are living embodiments as our founder so beautifully said, that peace is the power at the heart of God. And that heart is within us always. So welcome home to peace. And we say together, and so it is. We have a beautiful song, don't we? That's all. No, we're not going to stand. We're just going to just stay seated and just allow these beautiful words. You may want to keep your eyes closed and just really allow this vibration.
You are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. You are the heart, you are the hands, you are the voice of spirit on earth, and who you are and all you do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. We are the heart, we are the hands, we are the voice of spirit on earth, and who we are and all we do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit on earth, and who I am and all I do is a blessing to the world. I am the heart, I am the hands, I am the voice of spirit